every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. In our major story, President Goodluck Jonathan hints at comeback in 2015, warns against thuggery and rigging in Ekiti ahead the June 21st governorship election. Also in the program, outrage as military continues clampdown on newspapers in Abuja and parts of the country. Former Minister of Information and member of the ongoing National Conference, Dora Akunyili, dies at 59. And outside Nigeria, Russia's Maria Sharapova wins 2014 French Open Women Tennis Championship in Roland Garros. And now the details. President Goodluck Jonathan has hinted on a comeback while presenting the People's Democratic Party candidate to the people of Ekiti State. Jonathan says he wants to come back and commission state and federal projects under the government of the party's flag bearer, Ayodele Fayose, in the next 2 years.
I was in Ekiti State last when we came for the flag off of Engineer Onu. And since then, I have not come back to the state to commission project. I want to come back, the president want to come back, celebrate want to come back, and most especially our party chairman want to come back to commission projects that are meaningful. We want to come back in 2 years' time to commission both state and federal government projects in this state. We want to work with
Meanwhile, President Goodluck Jonathan has promised a free and fair election in the forthcoming Ekiti governorship election. He made the statements when he led leaders of the People's Democratic Party to present the party's flag to its candidate, Ayodele Fayose. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
The Oluyemi Kayode Stadium was filled to the brim by party members from Ekiti and neighboring states who gathered to witness the presentation of the party flag to Fayose. The Vice Chairman, PDP Southwest, and Chairman of the PDP Governors Forum say Ekiti election marks the beginning of reclaiming the Southwest from the All Progressives Congress.
Our candidate, Dr.
The national chairman of the PDP, Adamu Muazu, and the Senate President, David Mark, while presenting the flag to Ayodele Fayose, promised to put smile on the faces of Ekiti people, a statement which the party's governorship candidate reiterated.
I assure you that by the grace of the Almighty God, this is the beginning of the great beginning. And we are presenting to you a new, improved Ayodele Fayose as your governor. In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and then the final of God that I will look after you. In the name of this party, the PDP, I am in the name of the party.
President Goodluck Jonathan, in his goodwill message, promised a free, fair, and credible election devoid of thuggery, rigging, and violence.
That will provide security. Don't be afraid that there will come. There will be no thuggery. We'll make sure that everybody casts his vote. One man, Congratulations.
With the mammoth crowd recorded here today and the endorsement of Governor Ayo Fayose by President Goodluck Jonathan, it can be said like Ayo Fayose and every other candidate jostling for Okebareke office of the governor are fully ready to jostle for the seat, but the outright result of this mammoth crowd will be who will be announced as the governor-elect of Ekiti State. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
In spite of assurances from the military authorities, soldiers have continued to seal off the major newspaper distribution depots in Abuja. The operatives were said to have stormed the popular Area 1, where newspapers are distributed to agents and vendors across the Nigerian capital as early as 7 a.m. Witnesses who spoke off camera say soldiers came in trucks and prevented the agents from distributing newspapers for circulation. The situation has reduced the number of papers on the streets of Abuja, but many of the outlets devise other means of getting their publications out. The federal government has continued its clampdown on the media by stopping circulation of newspapers in some parts of the country. Osun State correspondent Bid Okoro takes a look at the development in the state.
Following the reported seizure of some newspapers by the military, newspaper sales and distribution has been affected in Osogbo. Only a few vendor stands are open for business. There seems to be a growing fear of possible harassment by military personnel. Media affairs analysts Jamiu Olawumi and Adelani Badirinwa both criticized the clampdown, saying it is undemocratic.
It's a total negation of what democracy is all about. Because first and foremost, I think if there is an erring situation on the part of a newspaper, there are procedures, processes, the courts are there, and so many other things that could have been done, not outright seizure of newspapers right on the streets.
Take it beyond deprivation. Take it to the level of the expectation of modern army or military in a country that faces these security challenges. That you could not scan to look for arms, but send soldiers on the street to look for it in the newspapers, and you still call yourself giant of Africa. You still claim to fund the military. Then what pattern of funding? What are the priorities when we fund? What is competition, peer review between Nigerian military and other military organizations across the globe?
The publisher of Osun Defender, Kola Olabisi, condemned the act, saying it is a hindrance of the rights of Nigerians to have information.
The precipice.
It's uncalled for when we are in a democracy. Even during the period that the late General Sani Abacha was calling that shot, we experienced this, the same thing when Ibrahim Babangida, President Ibrahim, the military president Ibrahim Babangida, when he was calling that shot, the same thing was experienced. But now that we say there is a democracy, I see no reason why some people who cannot have their way, cannot be allowed to have their say.
Olabisi advised the federal government to take a more cautious approach. On visiting some newspaper stands in Osogbo, the newspaper vendors seem to be uneasy. Beat Okoro, CoreTV News, Osogbo.
In the same vein, the Nigerian Union of Journalists has expressed concern over the seizure of copies of the publications of 4 national dailies, The Nation, Guardian, Daily Trust and Leadership newspapers by security agents. President of NUJ, Mohammed Garba, stated the union's position in Abuja. He says that the media is an important stakeholder in the ongoing campaign against insurgency in parts of the country and wondered why it would come under attack from security personnel. Garba condemns the seizure of the newspaper's publications, saying it is not the best way to handle it if there were any issues. He added that the situation in the country requires all segments of society to join forces against the insurgents rather than the stronger intimidating the weaker elements in the society. He says that the media should be allowed to discharge its responsibility to the society without intimidation from any quarter, adding that the media remained committed to the unity, stability and progress of the country. The NUJ leader appealed to the military to evolve better ways of arresting threatening reports or pieces of information other than confiscating the entire publications of media organizations. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has condemned the ongoing clampdown on media houses and the seizure of newspapers by military personnel. In a press statement issued by his media office, Atiku expressed concern at what he called humiliating treatment on media outfits and vendors in the course of their legitimate businesses. The former Vice President noted that if the newspapers are engaged in illegal activities that breach national security, there are avenues of dealing with situation without violating rights of the citizens. He, however, advised the media to also demonstrate highest degree of responsibility by ensuring that what is published do not endanger national security. The recent seizure of major newspapers by the military in Nigeria has come under heavy fire as public analysts and civil liberty organizations continue to condemn the action. Speaking during his visit to a station in Lagos, Tunji Abayomi says confiscation of newspapers in any country will constitute a threat to security.
Well, it poses a great threat to national security, and that's a concern of a lot of people. Because if you see how Boko Haram is operating, it renders the military powerless and ineffective. And people keep asking the question, how is it possible? I mean, Boko Haram will be on a location for 4 hours, and they appear to be more effective in terms of information gathering, intelligence, than our military. So if the military is reacting to legitimate and reasonable criticism through the media, then it's an unserious military, in my view.
Joe Oke Odumake, a delegate at the ongoing national conference, also condemns the seizure.
It's a sad reminder of military dictatorship. Our heart grieves. But the reason the security operatives is given will be good if it is better amplified, because one does not see the rationale behind it. Is reckless, is not in tune with democratic decorum, is not in line with what we fought for as a country that guarantees free press, that guarantees freedom of movement as enshrined in our constitution. The security operatives must remain civil, and those materials that are seized that has resulted in colossal loss of our resources. I think the security operatives have more explanation to give us, and there is the need for them to pay for the price, the loss that those medium have accrued, and also apologize to those people that have been unnecessarily harassed and intimidated.
Still on the newsprint seizure, the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, Umar Manko, has urged the media to be cautious in its reportage of national security issues to avoid more crises. Manko gave the advice at his investiture as Chief Patron of Crime Reporters Association of Nigeria in Lagos. He says the media had the capacity and responsibility to make the country peaceful. Represented by Damilola Adebuye, Deputy Commissioner of Police, State Criminal Investigation Department, Manko added that the media should always portray the nation in good light. He, however, commended the association for its support to the police, particularly in the area of crime fighting and terrorism. The police and the press, according to Manko, always face similar risks in the course of their duties. You're watching the Primetime News on CoreTV News. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with more reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana. Please remain seated and ensure your seatbelts are fastened. You can now turn on your MTN mobile phone data to enjoy a browsing rate of 5 kobo per kilobyte with MTN One World. Thank you.
Absolutely. Browse like home with MTN One World. Surfing the web from any MTN operating country costs the same like home. Enjoy affordable rates when you call and send text messages. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN. Everywhere you go.
This one wash challenge, you test Ariel to see if it removes stains in one wash. Let the challenge begin. First, chocolate and juice. We will wash shirts with Ariel. Look, Ariel has cleaned in just one wash. So which detergent removes stains in one wash? Ariel, P&G Everyday Quality Brand.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Thank you so much for being there. And for more information on our news and other programs, you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle, @CoreTV News NG. And you can watch our videos on YouTube, www.youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, then news. Former Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control and ex-Minister of Information, Dora Akunyili, is dead. A former governor of Anambra, Peter Obi, confirmed the death of Dora Akunyili on behalf of the Akunyili family. Aged 59, Akunyili died after 2 years' battle with cancer. She was born in Makurdi, Benue, in July 14, 1954. Akunyili attended the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where she made first class in pharmacy in 1978 and PhD in 1985. The deceased was elevated to the rank of Professor of Pharmacology in October 2000 by University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where she taught for many years. She was Director General of NAFDAC between April 2001 and 2008 and Minister of Information and Communication between December 2008 and December 2010. She anchored the Rebranded Nigeria project driven by the slogan, Nigeria, Good People, Great Nation. She serves the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria in various capacities, notably as the National Vice President of Association of Lady Pharmacists from 1992 to 1995. She left government in 2010 to contest election for Anambra Central Senatorial seat on the ticket of All Progressives Grand Alliance. Senate President David Mark says Nigerians would not forget the good works of Professor Dora Akunyili in a hurry. He recalled how she chased the illicit drug peddlers out of the market during her years as Director General of NAFDAC. The Senate President noted that as the nation's chief image maker, Akunyili brought Nigeria to global reckoning with a campaign of good people, great nation. Kano State's Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso says the state's government will announce the name of a new emir of Kano on Sunday. The governor made the statement after receiving the Emirates Kingmakers at the Government House, Kano. The Kingmakers who visited the governor are the Madakin Kano, Yusuf Chikari, and the Sarkin Dawaki Belu Abubakar. Other kingmakers are the Makama Kanu Abdullah Ibrahim and Sarkin Bai Mukhtar Adnan. The late Emir Ado Bayero was named the successor a day after the death of his father Abdullahi Bayero. A list containing 4 names was submitted to Kwakwanso, which is to give final approval according to tradition. The Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of Akwa Ibom, Ekpeyong Itenkim, says the state government decided to repeal the Governor's Pension Law 2014 in respect to public outcry. It says the state government had intended to solve the problem of open-ended provisions in the 2006 pension law for former governors and deputy governors. The amended law 2014 had provided for a ceiling of 100 million naira on the medical allowances of the former governors and 50 million naira for former deputy governors per annum, respectively. The amendment, which took members of the State House of Assembly less than 2 weeks, attracted fierce criticism from the public, including the state chapter of Nigeria Labour Congress. He added that he would expect the State House of Assembly to organize a public forum on further amendments of the law. Students of the University of Lagos have protested the hike in late registration fees. The students blocked all entrances leading to the campus. Vehicles were also restricted from moving in or out, resulting in traffic gridlock around the university. The students say the school management increased the fee for late registration from about 10,000 naira to 25,000 naira. Omotayo Alo has details.
Students of the University of Lagos protested to register their displeasure over what they described as an insensitive hike in the fees for late registration. The university community and its environs witnessed several hours of traffic gridlock due to students' blockage of the entrance and exit of the institution. The students say this action is to kick against the increased registration fee from 10,000 to 25,000 naira.
Can you just imagine that they escalated the price of the school for you to register just a course or a edit to 25,000 naira? And many of them, when they went to school, they would tell us they do to give them chicken, free education, free transportation, and they would travel abroad free of charge.
We want to know exactly where the case. We want to know exactly where this case is coming from. It was not like this last year. It was not like this last 2 years. It was not. Why would it be within a particular regime that actually this will be coming up? We want to know. We want to know why. The management. We are part of the management. We are part of the in every stakeholders in investing. We want to know why the increment. If there's an increment, okay. We agreed. Formerly there was an increment of 10,000. If you didn't pay your school fees, but all the students paid their school fees just to edit and delete. For crying out loud.
This is not federal government's plan. It's not. What account is this money going into? Like, how did they come up? They have to tell us that things we are questioned. How did they come about the money? 20,000 naira, 15,000 naira, 25,000 naira, and the people are paying it just to edit. Before it was 5,000 to edit, but by Monday you have to pay 25,000 naira.
University authorities who refused to speak on camera claimed the protest is an in-house issue which will be resolved in no time. Following the incident that happened, the University Authority immediately issued a circular to the effect. With the 2014 convocation ceremony scheduled for 10 June, students of UNILAG hold strong to their promise of disrupting all plans for the occasion if the money of those who pay the high late registration fee to the school management is not refunded. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take another break, and when we return, we'll bring you business news.
This one wash challenge will test Ariel to see if it removes stains in one wash. Let the challenge begin. First, chocolate and juice. We will wash shirts with Ariel. Look, Ariel has cleaned in just one wash. So which detergent removes stains in one wash? Ariel, P&G Everyday Quality Brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana. Please remain seated and ensure your seatbelts are fastened. You can now turn on your MTN mobile phone data to enjoy a browsing rate of 5 kobo per kilobyte with MTN One World. Thank you.
Absolutely. Browse like home with MTN One World. Surfing the web from any MTN operating country costs the same like home. Enjoy affordable rates when you call and send text messages. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN, everywhere you go.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Thank you for being there. And now to business. The federal government may need to explore alternatives to the ports in Lagos to generate increased revenue from international trade. Stakeholders in the shipping and maritime sector stated this at a national dialogue session organized by the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. According to them, they are concerned about the capacity utilization of the ports with the importation of about 80 million metric tons of goods into the country, and the facilities are grossly inadequate with its attendant problems. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Hassan Bello, called for drastic reduction in the number of containers channeled to physical examination and the relocation of tank farms away from the port access routes, as well as provision of roadworthy trucks for cargo evacuation. He stressed that efforts should be geared towards implementing a 24-hour port and cargo clearance operations with the provision of adequate security for the logistics chain, as well as provision of adequate empty container holding bay by shipping companies. The Central Bank of Nigeria disbursed 232.56 billion naira from the Power and Airline Intervention Fund as at December 31, 2013. The Apex Bank says in a circular posted on its website that the two sectors expended the money on the execution of 87 projects. It says that airlines got 116.92 billion naira for 36 projects, while the power sector collected 115.73 billion naira for 51 projects. The federal government in 2013 released 300 billion naira as bailout fund to the two sectors. The fund is to fast-track ongoing power projects and provide loan to local airline operators. The Central Bank of Nigeria has no immediate plans to cut interest rates and is not considering doing it until after the presidential election in February 2015. The new CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, signaled a dovish tone on interest rates in his first news conference, saying he would not seek a gradual reduction in rates. He would seek a gradual reduction in rates, which have been stuck at 12% for more than 2 years. The Naira suffered selling pressure after Thursday's news press briefing. It was at 164.90 to the dollar at 1 p.m. on Friday, 1.25% downside since before Emefiele comments, but it later recovered to 162.95 on anticipation of dollar sales by State Oil Company. Emefiele says his comment had been misinterpreted. Liquidity tightening measures are credited with lowering inflation from 15% in 2010 to 7.9% currently. Trading closed this weekend on a negative note as the NSE All Share Index opened at 41,570.09 points to depreciate by minus 0.11% to close at 41,529.11 basis points. Market capitalization decreased by 0.11% close at 13.71 trillion naira. Investors exchanged 245 million ordinary shares worth 2.90 billion naira in 4,742 deals. Cadbury PLC led the gainers chart, followed by Conoil PLC, Owando PLC, Dangote Cement and Presco PLC respectively, while Wapco PLC topped the losers table, followed by Nigerian Breweries, Ashaka Cement PLC, Okumu Oil and NNFM. You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take another break and we'll be back with sports stories. And now on sports, Nigeria's Ahmed Musa, Elderson Echiejile and Kenneth Omoero will not feature in Saturday's international friendly between the Super Eagles and the Yanks of the United States of America. Monaco's Echiejile has not trained with the team for 3 days due to a hamstring injury secured in Nigeria's 0-0 draw against the Greek national team, while Omoero was rattled during Thursday's training and has been unable to join the rest of the squad since. Ahmed Musa, on his own part, is gradually getting back to full fitness after he got a thigh injury against the Scottish national side, but will not be risked for this tie. Stephen Keshe's men have been drawn in Group F and while they will be underdogs against Argentina, the African outfit should be hopeful of earning positive results versus Bosnia-Herzegovina and Iran to progress to the last 16. Marco Reus has been ruled out of the World Cup after suffering an ankle injury in Germany's 6-1 friendly win over Armenia. The Borussia Dortmund midfielder, 25, sustained a partial tear of an ankle ligament and is expected to be out for 6 or 7 weeks. Sampdoria's former Everton defender, Shkodran Mustafi, has replaced Reus. Reus's withdrawal is a major blow to Germany's World Cup preparations, with Bayer Leverkusen midfielders Lars Bender already ruled out with a thigh injury. Maria Sharapova claimed a second French Open title when she floored Romanian 4th seed Simona Halep 6-4, 6-7, 6-5 after a marathon encounter in Saturday's final. The 7th seed from Russia claimed a 5th Grand Slam title after Wimbledon 2004, the 2006 US Open, the 2008 Australian Open and her first Roland Garros title 2 years ago. Halep, who had not lost a set entering the final, put up a great fight but bowed out after 3 hours and 2 minutes, the longest women's final in Paris since 1996. Sharapova wrapped it up on her first match point when Halep could not return one of her opponent's sizzling forehands. Now we'll take another break on CoreTV Primetime News, and when we return, it will be stories from outside Nigeria. Don't go away.
Nigerians continue to
Tonight, the city of Lagos once again has always
to you on be the first to know
on CoreTV News
from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are CoreTV News.
Welcome to CoreTV,
a 24-hour news station.
Thank you so much for being there. And for more information on our news and other programs, visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. Also on YouTube, www.youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, the news. And now stories from outside Nigeria. Petro Poroshenko has been sworn in as Ukrainian president. He vowed to avert civil war and mend ties with Russia. He's the fifth Ukrainian post-Soviet president, with the nation facing disintegration and economic collapse. Poroshenko took the oath of office one day after holding his first meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The self-made billionaire vowed to give an amnesty to any insurgents who had no blood on their hands as the first step in a peace initiative designed to save the nation of 46 million, which saw its Crimea Peninsula annexed by Russia in March from splitting further along ethnic lines. Poroshenko also added that he would never accept Russia's seizure of Crimea or attempts to divert its pro-European course. The ceremony was attended by United States Vice President Joe Biden and European Council President Herman Van, along with more than 20 other dignitaries from countries that back Kiev's new westward drive. A new round of talks on ending South Sudan's nearly 6-month-old civil war has been delayed, mediators say. No explanation was given for the latest delay in the talks. Officials say a 3-day multi-party symposium involving the government, rebels, religious and civil society groups would open at the African Union headquarters. Face-to-face talks between the warring parties will likely be determined after the symposium.
I'm going to be going to Addis Ababa on the 9th and the 10th of this month, where Ambassador Booth will also be. We hope that there will be a meeting between President Kiir and Dr. Machar in Addis Ababa. We know there will be an IGAD summit meeting where President Kiir will be participating. And we believe both of those events will be very important events in defining a path forward to a peaceful resolution of the ongoing conflict here in South Sudan. We're able to fashion an agreement that reaffirmed earlier commitments, not only to cease hostilities and cease fighting, but also to create the basis for negotiations to create a transitional government of national unity.
And with that, we'll call it a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News tonight. Before we go, another look at some of the major stories. President Goodluck Jonathan gave hints at comeback in 2015, warned against thuggery and rigging in Ekiti ahead June 21st governorship election. We also reported that outrage as military continues clampdown on newspapers in Abuja and parts of the country. And that's the news tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. Have a pleasant night rest.